going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I would say it's been a couple of days since everything came out of left field on Sunday night for Disney Co., but it did not come out of left field. There were so many negative reports explaining everything was down. The numbers, the hostility, the morale across the board, and pun totally intended, it was the board that decided they needed to switch things up. But now that they've brought Bob Iger back in, we're hearing tons of reports about how Disney executives staged a coup, how it was all done between Friday and Sunday, how Bob CHAPEK didn't even hear of his firing until the day that they announced it. But what's really interesting is the report that broke late last night from an industry insider claiming they know exactly what Bob Iger is going to do with Disney now that he's back in charge. He's going to sell it. We're going to talk about where this report originally came from, what they exactly said, then I'm going to do my best to add some context for you guys, explain just how much Disney Co. is worth, what this merger would even look like if possible, and on that note, what the timeline would be if this is something that could even go through in the first place. We're going to break down everything in the bombshell reveal that Bob Iger, now back as the new CEO, might look to sell Walt Disney Company to a mega buyer. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so even though this has been reported in a multitude of degrees in a lot of places over the last 12 hours, it actually broke as an exclusive with an editorial called The Wrap when they reported the following based on speaking to an anonymous industry insider. Quote, "He's going to sell the company," one Disney insider who worked for Iger predicted. "This is the pinnacle deal for the ultimate deal breaker. Landing a deal with Apple or some other mega buyer would also cement Iger's legacy. I think he'd welcome it. He'd be the last CEO of Disney," a former top Disney executive told The Wrap, noting the two companies have, quote, "similar brand identities and could benefit from a merger." They then go on to point out that acquisitions are in Iger's DNA and that under Iger's leadership, quote, "Disney went on a nearly $100 billion shopping spree to buy animation giant Pixar in 2006, superhero juggernaut Marvel in 2009, followed by Star Wars-powered Lucasfilm in 2012, and then finally Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox in 2019. But there was one acquisition he's publicly lamented as a transformational deal that got away, a combination with the tech powerhouse Apple, who for the record have been on the record themselves as saying they're always open to buying companies as long as they have strong brands. Here's looking at you, Disney. But what would that even look like, and how much is Disney worth? Well, for the record, their total assets exceed $200 billion. But when you have a company that big, you have something called liabilities that usually count against your net worth, making their public estimation, the evaluation of their company from several sources and estimates, at about $130 or $140 billion. But if you were going to buy something like Disney Co., they're not just going to sell it for what they're worth, they're going to sell it for a premium, hence the real American dream, not starting and owning a company, starting, owning, and then selling a company, because of course that sale price usually reflects a year or two of earnings beyond what the company's actual worth is, meaning he could sell this for upwards of 240, maybe more, $1 billion. And if you're wondering, well, what's the incentive for him, Disney, everybody to sell? He would make over $1 billion on the deal. He's in this for the business, but he's in this to make money. He is a businessman. And so ultimately, if you're sitting there saying, well, why would anybody sell Disney or agree to this? It's money. It's the amount of money he would make as the CEO and the rest of the board would make for a sale like this. Now, there are only a few buyers who have enough money to pull the trigger on a company as big as Walt Disney. And because there's some history there and how they're positioned in the market, Apple is the very obvious choice. If you would even talk about Disney being sold, honestly, Apple's the first and only name that I could come up with. And that's sort of the point I want to make about this article. I talk a lot here at the channel about industry insiders and anonymous posts, things that are said about what's going on in the MCU, both in front of and behind the camera. And trust me, I love anonymous sources for any reason. They're great. They're great for us YouTubers. They give us a lot to talk about. They're also fun because you just never know. But what I will say about anonymous sources is they have to be treated again with a little less reverence than, say, another source who's willing to put their name on it, like industry insiders. That being said, there's nothing really in this article that's any sort of groundbreaking evidence that he would be looking to do this other than what's just regularly known about Bob Iger looking to sell the company in the past. He likes to buy and sell. That's part of his business strategy for growing and eventually cashing out. and just the obvious that it would make him oodles of money if he did end up selling Walt Disney Company. I also do not see Bob Iger's plan for damage control as he comes on to an extremely chaotic Disney landscape of being like looking right away to sell it. He's got to take a couple of years, a year at least, to get the ship pointed in the right direction, and his onboarding message was pretty poignant and pretty clear, aiming it at both the employees, telling them he's going to take care of it, and talking about the bottom line, the drop in numbers, getting them back in a strategic point of growth. Only a healthy company is going to sell for the premium we talked about earlier in this video, so in order to get the company to a place where they would be ready to sell and get the kind of money they'd be willing to sell for, you're talking about a several-year plan. Even if this merger were to go through, signed on the dotted line, you're talking about years for that to happen. Disney buying something like Fox, and as big as 21st Century Fox was, is not a really good comparison for how this company would merge, because you have to think about Disney's infinitely bigger. It's not just Fox, it's Star Wars, it's Marvel, it's ESPN, it's their theme parks. There are so many moving parts to Disney that, guys, even if this is something that Bob Iger is looking to do, let's pretend for a minute that this is real. It would take years. Years and years and years and years. So what that honestly means for the MCU is all good things, because as I said in the video when this news broke, Bob Iger is the first guy to tell Kevin Feige to spend that extra $50 million, spend that extra $100 million, add those cameos, reshoot those parts. He is a story-first guy. He will invest in stories in media, which means for as long as he's on the scene and until anything like this would come to pass years down the road, Marvel movies will be a major point of investment and get the love that they deserve, at least from a development point of view, and you can't ask for more than that. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Sorry I came a little unraveled here at the end of this video, got a little loose. Don't normally do that, but I tell you what, it felt good. If you're catching this video late tonight or tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. If you're celebrating that, if you're not, no worries. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're safe, happy, surrounded by loved ones. Remember, if you're going to drink, please drink responsibly, and if you are going to drink, do not drive tomorrow. Just be safe, guys, wherever you're at. Lots of sports on. Put your butt on the couch and watch them. Okay, we are still giving away a PlayStation 5. We're doing so at 1 million subscribers, which we are now less than 10,000 subscribers away from. Could easily hit by the end of the year. We're less than 1% away from 1 million subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit the sub button. I'd love you forever. You are helping me achieve a lifelong goal I thought I would never even get close. It'll also enter you to win a PS5. All you got to do, be a subscriber, leave a comment on the video because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners are announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.